Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to Lady K Chat, a podcast that is designed for men and women to become better versions of themselves, which is broadcast every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Various subjects will be spoken upon, such as relationships, health and wellness, personal development, wealth building, children, and so much more. She is a two-time Amazon best-selling author, an international speaker, and life coach. She is Lady K. And now for your host, Lady K.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lady K Chat podcast. I am your host, Lady K. I would like to welcome you and thank you for tuning in today's episode, How to Eat. And I could not do this episode by myself. I had to invite this lovely young lady. She wears multiple hats, but today I'm going to stress the fact that she is a certified health trainer. So please help me welcome Miss Tiffany Cofer. How are you, Tiffany?
I'm good, and thank you for having me on the show.
You're welcome. Like I said, I couldn't do this show without you because, Tiffany, let me tell you something. Everybody, y'all about to get mad at me, but I don't care because I'm going to tell you truth with love. Half of y'all do not know how to eat.
You're right.
Am I right, Tiffany?
You are right. We have picked up bad habits from when we were little. We don't know how to eat, and we have to retrain the bad habits that we were taught by our parents.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And listen, and I'm going to say this because I wore this shirt intentionally. This is not a plan. So this is what people do all day. They drink coffee. Y'all drink coffee to fill you up.
You can't have one cup of coffee.
You can.
8 cups of coffee a day, no, that's no good for you.
Right. But that's what I'm trying to say. They don't even realize the caffeine, the sugar, and a lot of people don't realize when you got all that sugar, what you're going to do later on? You're going to crash.
Right. Absolutely.
So, someone like me, I love sugar, but I'm going to tell you one thing that I did to change my eating habits, and I've been doing this for the past 13 years. I stopped putting sugar in my tea and my coffee.
What do you use?
I actually got used to the taste of no sugar.
Really?
Yes.
I haven't gotten used to the taste of no sugar, but what I do now is I use monk fruit.
Yes,
I'm not a fan of stevia. I don't like the taste of stevia, but I use monk fruit when I'm using something that requires sugar. So there are other ways to make it taste good without using sugar. So actually in my house, we don't use sugar at all. We got rid of the white sugar. We use the monk fruit. We use ethanol. I happen to be on keto right now, so I try to stay away from the carbs and the sugar as much as possible. However, I do have my cheat days, so no one is perfect. But for the most part, I stay away from the sugar also because I was diabetic, like pre-diabetic, and the doctor had me on at one point. This was a couple of years ago, 800 metformin. I decided that I didn't want to be on medication. Right. So that's when I got on a health journey and decided that, I was going to reverse what learned behavior I had and all of the food that we were so used to eating and retrain how we ate in my house. Yep.
Right. Now, Tiffany, you said something so key. You pretty much said that you had to go through tragedy to help you say, all right, I don't want this no more. And I see a lot of people are coming across that way. They have to go through tragedy just to change their eating habits. But I really want to talk to the audience and say, you can avoid it. You can avoid doing that. You can avoid that. And Tiffany, for someone that's just starting out on a journey that they're trying to change their eating habits, what would you say would be the first step that they need to take into consideration to change their journey?
It's really all about discipline. But what I would say is find a program that works for you. Right. Whether it's, detoxing your system first. And what I mean by detoxing, clean your system out. Right. Get rid of all of the habits you have of eating sugar, the carbs. I usually will do a 10-day green smoothie cleanse to detox the system, remove everything of toxins from the body that will help you develop a system where you won't crave that stuff anymore.
Right. And I have a question for you, Tiffany, with the detox. Is it only one way to detox, or are there multiple ways to detox?
There's several ways to detox. The method that I use is by JJ Smith. You can do it 10 days, and that's drinking 3 smoothies a day with the approved snacks. Or some people do two smoothies and a healthy meal. For some people, doing just green smoothies straight through with the approved snacks is too much, and they feel like they need to eat more, so they'll do the 2 juices and a healthy meal. And then some people, they have the discipline, they want that discipline, so they'll go directly through the whole 10 days without eating anything but the approved snacks to get the full detox cleanse. But there are different methods out there that you can use. What I would say is you can go to a health store. You can look around and see what different methods are out there, because again, what works for me may not work for you. It's just doing the research of what cleanse works for you, and what journey you want to go on, whether you want to be keto, whether you just want to eat right, whether you want to, there's so many different methods out there. You have to look and do the research as to which one you want to do. I also have a group that you're also in called Our Health Matters, where basically what it is it's a group of people who, we all, some are vegan, some are on different journeys. We all are just in there posting what works for us. And if there's stuff in there that works for you, use it. If not, take it with a grain of salt and do what you think works for you. There are times when I will post up, hey, I'm doing a 10-day green smoothie, who would like to join me? And then I will take those particular people who join me in that and move them out of that group and put them into my private group, so that we can concentrate on the 10-day green smoothie cleanse. Because what happens is you tend to get confused with everybody posting, and when you're trying to stay consistent on something, you want to move out of that group so that you can stay consistent in what you're doing only. And then after the 10 days is over, they go back into the Our Health Matters group and they do what works for them, because you can't stay on a 10-day cleanse forever. It's just a detox. And some people, they lose 10 or 15 pounds and they say, oh, I want to do it again. But it's really retraining your ways of eating. So what are you going to do after the detox? Whether you do a 30-day where you two smoothies in a meal, or you say, okay, well, I'm going to go vegan, and you switch, or I'm going to have no meat, or I'm going to do a keto, and then you do another plan. But you can't stay on a detox to lose weight, because you got to learn how to eat. There's so many good foods out there that you have to also enjoy your food. What I'm saying is you can enjoy the food, but know how to eat it so that you're still losing the weight that you need to lose.
Absolutely.
And it's about being healthy.
Right, exactly, too. And I was going to piggyback with what you're saying is, you can eat the right foods, but it's not just eating the right food. Sometimes, too, you got to be mindful of how you're cooking it. And like you said, Tiffany, before, we grew up with bad habits. So I know for me, my grandmother, she's from the South. So, boy, that fried smothered chicken, it was good back in the day,
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Everything. We love it, but it's a habits that we've learned. My family is from the South. My mother's father was a chef. So we all know how to cook, and we could, throw down. We make big meals and dinners, and we learned how to eat like that. Thanksgiving, we would make these big old feasts, and we would just eat until we couldn't eat anymore. And then I finally said, you know what? Somebody has to break that habit. Somebody has to, generational curses, as they say. Somebody has to teach the children that they have to eat healthy. Otherwise, it continues on. We continue on with that cycle. And you have now the world where the obesity rate is so high because nobody is training themselves on how to eat.
Right. And you said something too. You said, somebody has to break the generational curses. And I can say I do thank God for my mother, because 20 years ago, she went vegan and she changed some things in the household. Now, 20 years ago when she did that, I was still young. I'm telling my age, y'all. But and I was like, yeah, what is this at first? And then, she kept doing it and I got used to it. So it was like now that 20 years later, I finally converted as a pescatarian. For those who don't know, that's when when you incorporate the plant-based and fish diet. And for me, like Tiffany said, you have to find something that works. And that definitely works for me and is soup for me. And I love it. And I've been on this journey for the past, 10 months. So it's amazing. It's an amazing experience. I feel better. I'm not lethargic like I used to. Now, sometimes when I have my cheat days and I know I'm not supposed to eat certain stuff, then I feel it, but I can always rebound. And thanks to Tiffany also too, she taught me how to detox and how to, transition. So now I know when I get off track, I know I have to, like she said, retrain myself, and also retraining your taste buds. Like, don't get me wrong, I do put a little bit of sugar in my food, but like you said, to start the discipline, I started that by not putting no sugar in my tea intentionally, so I can start the process. Yeah, so that's my story.
Your mom has done the 10-day green smoothie with me. She's also in the group. I love her. Right. She's lost weight, so she is really on a healthy journey. And it's not about how big you are. I always tell people, look at your numbers. Go to a nutritionist. I started going to a nutritionist like maybe 2-3 years ago. We kind of take that for granted, but if you see a nutritionist, you will get to know what your numbers are. You will know if you have a fatty liver or not. Like in my group, I announced about maybe a month ago that I no longer have a fatty liver, but that's because I knew what my numbers were. I knew where I stood, what I had to do to decrease the fat in my liver, and I got it down. So I'd say using a nutritionist to know what the numbers are, know what your metabolism rate is, and just get on course for what you want your weight goal to be. Right. Everybody comes in different sizes. It's just about being healthy. I don't want to look up at, 65 or 49, because a lot of us are getting younger and younger, and we still have a lot of health challenges. Okay. So I don't want to be 55 and, I got a heart attack or a stroke because I wasn't doing the right thing. Absolutely. So that's why I began to do the journey of becoming a certified coach with JJ Smith, and also looking into becoming a nutritionist, because it's important to me. It's also important to me that I show my kids that this is what you need to do to stay healthy. And your kids do what you they do what you do. They don't always. So you got to show them. So with me doing what I'm doing, it has shown them, and I see a difference in them as well. So as they get older, they know, okay, well, no, I got to do it this way. And my older daughter, she's conscious of it now. And although she's still battling with her weight, she knows, okay, I have to do this and I have to do that. So she's tried keto, she's tried, different things. And so I know that she knows she can't always eat the way we normally eat, because we would, fried chicken, okra, we did that. And don't get me wrong, we still enjoy the good food, and we still have it occasionally, but not like we used to have it before.
Absolutely. Like that was like back then also too, with tradition, to have those Sunday dinners, but we can understand where those Sunday dinners come from, because that comes from something strong. That's when back in the days, the slaves, the only time they was able to get together. And how do we appreciate one another? By food. And that's awesome. But we can just change how we are preparing our food. So like Tiffany said, she showed her children. I have my 5-year-old eating vegan food, and he don't even know it, but I introduced him at an early age that he's adapting to it. He loves it. Now my 18-year-old, he comes around, but the whole key thing is that I introduce it. I change what I bring in my household, and that's what it's all about. And another key thing you said, Tiffany, you said consult a nutritionist, and I think a lot of people tend to skip that step. Me personally, I think is very imperative, and I'm going to tell you why. See, a lot of people don't want to go to the doctor for various reasons, but you forget about preventative care is so important. If you go and know your levels, when you allow the doctor to take your blood and you get your levels checked, you can know what is what. And a lot of people don't realize they can even tell you what type of foods to avoid because of your type in your blood. That's very important. And you can probably say, well, why am I so tired? Maybe it's the oranges. Maybe your body is not adapting to the oranges like it used to. Like for me, I can't really eat avocados anymore. My body said no. So you have to know your body. And stop being afraid to go to the doctor.
When I went to this, my primary care doctor, my vitamin D was low, so she put me on medication for vitamin D. And then I was getting a B12 shot for energy. I just knew my levels, and I always checked up on it. So now I go to the nutritionist maybe every month just to make sure that I'm on course, I'm doing the right thing. Right now, I'm supposed to go back on the 30th. And what this month I was supposed to work more on exercising because I am focused on my food and what I eat. And I will walk, but I'm not, like I tell people, I'm not the exercise person. I will exercise, I like cycling, and I will walk. But if you're looking for somebody that's gonna go to the gym 7 days a week, that ain't me. Right. So I will put you in the right direction to people who are in the gym fitness, gym buffs that can help you. We have Maya, who's in our health group. She is fabulous with, giving information on using gym equipment and going to the gym. And she's also competing in competitions. Right. That's her forte. Me is watching what you eat, consistent with that, because you know what? It starts with what to eat. I had a girlfriend who told me before, she went to the gym 7 days a week, and it wasn't until she changed her eating that she started to really see the results.
Lady K.